Hey guys, so I've been talking a lot about listening and the lack of it and what this means for our health and our relationship. So I have a little diagram here that I'm going to go over the flow of energy. And just to start off, I would invite everyone to read the book, The Celestine Prophecy. And it goes over these concepts of how everything is energy and all the battles and struggles in the world is not so much for land or resources, but it's for energy. And we do the same things just in our daily conversations with people. So here we got what is happening mostly in our world right now. We have one person doing a lot of the talking, and this gives them energy. So I put the little energy around them. And so they are in the plus because they're getting the energy. And what happens, and this happened to me just last night, is that I was with someone who is interested in self-development with me, but was talking the entire time. And this is the result of that. When you talk for 5, 6, 7 minutes at one time, and you don't let the other person even have the opportunity to speak, for me personally, I don't even know what to say anymore. You've been talking for so long that is the topic of conversation, and I don't even know what to say. I am lost in either listening to you or thinking, all right, whatever, like in my mind, because it's been so long. So I'm either genuinely listening to you, which I am trying to do, but I think you can only do that for so long when you get upset and your energy is negative, as shown here, because this person is taking all the energy. They're stealing it all. Because they are feeling good about this for whatever reason. So this is what should be happening for both parties to positively progress. Flow of energy this way, flow of energy back. I feel good about listening, which puts the other person in the positive, but I also receive energy by them listening to me. It's more about the listening. The listening causes more respect. The listening causes the flow of energy. You could tell me something that really affects my life, but the relationship and the flow of energy needs both people to talk and listen. Where's the energy flowing? Okay? So this, I could actually write probably a whole book on this. And I'm going to keep this as short as possible. And this is the equation to the perfect conversation. And my perfect conversation, what I deem it to be, would be understanding and progression. We need to understand each other to even progress, but then we need to also move the conversation for progression. Okay, so let's just say that I'm telling you a story. Here's my story right here. Depending on what you say will dictate the path that we are going to take. And some paths are not progressive and some paths are. Okay? And some paths will lead to energy being put in you, and some of it will be put towards the other person and allowing the flow of energy. Okay? So if I'm going to tell you a story, I say, oh man, one time I broke my ankle skateboarding. If you reply with, I did that too, and I felt like this, you just took the energy away from me and gave it to you. I did this, and I felt like this. When someone tells a story, no matter how boring or shitty or mundane it may be, I just feel that for the most part, it's polite and courteous to the relationship and the conversation to say, how did that make you feel? Where did you do that? When did that happen? inquire about the story so they can keep on telling their story. Okay? When someone tells you a story and then you automatically say, "Oh, I did that too, and I broke both ankles, and I was with Kobe Bryant in California when it happened." Do I give a fuck right now? That's what your subconscious is saying. You could really care, but you know what your energy is saying? Hey, you just took my energy from me. And you didn't inquire about my story that I'm telling you. You just stole my story, stomped it in the ground, and now you're telling your story about how you topped my story. This is what's happening. Okay? Or what you can do, and I wrote the little negative here for the I through after my story, is you have a positive aspect. And you could say, "Oh, really? Where did that happen?" And then it comes back to me. See? So I tell a story. The question comes back to me. Now I keep on telling my story again. Now we have a cycle of conversation instead of, "I'm telling my story, I'm telling my story, I'm telling my story, I'm telling my story, this is how to do stuff, this is how to do stuff, this is how I feel." 20 minutes of that will make this person want to leave you. So this works for business, intimate relationships, families, friends. Any type of relationship. This is what the fuck we're talking about here. If you don't have a lot of good relationships, this might be the reason why. This could really help a lot of people, I feel. This could help me. Help everybody. This is gold. They write this in books. This is not just me. I just happen to think about it because I'm seeing it in the world. But I guarantee you that there's lots of books on this. Like I said, the Celestine Prophecy deals with this. The book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This is what it's all about. I read things on articles and it said just one little piece of paper. It's like it shows a guy and a girl and a guy and a girl. And at the top one it says, I. And then the guy is saying, you. And the third one is the guy that was saying you walk away with the girl. Okay? Who are we giving energy to? And who is the one taking it? So another example, my story. Another positive, which sends information this way and then bounces the information back. That must have been awesome. I'm telling a story about how I'm snowboarding and the other guy says, "That's awesome." Cool, man. Energy back and forth. And not only that, but my story even allows for someone to speak afterwards. When I was chilling the other night, I had no opportunity to even say anything because there was so much fast talking. And when I did even have something to say, the person would raise their voice. That's another big thing too. When someone is talking, you're not. When someone is talking, you're not. And everybody during conversation needs to have a break in the conversation. You say what you need to say and you stop for a second. And that subconsciously, energetically lets the other person know that it's their turn to speak. And this is how the cycle continues. Not this over and over and over and over again. Now this person has all the energy. This person's in the negative. This person's in the positive. They have all the energy. And no matter how much this happens, and because what this is happening is that when this is all the information's going to one person, this person is using their energy, taking it all in and listening. And if this person is listening for so long that it drains all their energy, it's draining listening to this person. It needs to happen like this, and now we can both grow. The party can grow. the relationship can grow. You and I can grow instead of you growing or me growing, depending on who's doing all the talking. Okay? A negative one is when I tell a story, and these are those topper people. You know what you could do also? You know what you could do? And there is a time and a place for this, because sometimes people need help. If I'm telling a story about how, I can't fix my computer, and someone says, hey, you know what you could do is this. But it's semantics, and it's how you do that, and it's how you approach the situation. And you say, hey, maybe this has helped me, it might help you. Would you like to know it? Ask someone if they want the information. Because if someone doesn't want the information, they're not listening to it. I've always said this. I could go to someone who has cancer and say, hey, I have the cure for cancer. And this is what it is. People are not receptive to the information. They're defensive because they are not open. Like we talked about in the other video of being open. And unless they open themselves to information, they don't hear it. It doesn't get in there. Right? And the most positive thing that you can do when I'm telling my story is to shut up and listen. That's the best thing to do. Because that builds trust and that builds respect. And those are all great things to have. So, to conclude the video, I hope this was really clear for you guys about what's going on when you're talking with people, okay? And I'm going to do a whole nother video on this concept about the avenues of conversation and how you can control the avenue of any conversation to get you where you want to go. And this is really good for business and picking up chicks and picking up guys and intimate relationships. Very useful. You can control the flow of conversation by what you say. I'm pretty sure this is the basis for all of business and marketing and networking. And it's just simple. It's simple stuff. When you really break it down, energy going this way only builds this person. Energy going both ways builds both people. You make the other person feel good instead of you just feeling good. Alright guys, that's it. I hope this flow of energy chart was cool and you guys get some use out of it. And if you guys want me to do a video on something interesting or you guys want to know something, that means that I would have to do research on it maybe. That means that I would get to know and learn something. So throw your comments and throw your questions at me and I'd be happy to do a video on it. Boom!